Ed from Precision Gun Reviews here, and today we have something exciting on the table for review. And no, it's not this folding knife. It's this tiny pocket 380 from Kahr Arms. It's the Kahr CW380. Now, of all the guns in this class, in this category, this Kahr CW380 may very well be our highest recommended of all of them. We'll get that out of the way right off the bat, and I'll tell you why. So this is a polymer striker-fired, semi-automatic, single-stack pocket 380 with a Browning-style breech lock recoil design. It's 4.96 inches long, it is 3.9 inches tall, and only 3/4 of an inch thick. That's 0.75 of an inch thick. And it weighs only 10.2 ounces without a magazine, or 11.5 with a magazine. It carries 6 rounds in the magazine, 1 in the chamber, and this is one of the few pocket 380s that maintains this small size. It's just as small as any of the Rugers, Kel-Tecs, anything like that, except it has a large gun feel to it. This feels like any of your other defensive handguns in the way that it operates. It has last round hold open, it has real sights. It's just the same car that you know if you have any of the other full-size cars or compact 9mm, compact 40, any of the cars, and it operates just the same in a miniature package. And as you can see, my hand dwarfs this gun. It's so small, and it fits in any carry capacity that you're looking to carry it. I carry it right in my front right hand jeans pocket in a pocket holster, and you can't even tell that it's a gun. It looks like a wallet. Taking a look around the gun, like I said, it's exactly like any of the other cars. You kind of seen one, you've seen them all. Looking at the grip, it's just a rough textured grip, no frills, but it gets the job done. You get 2 fingers on there. Trigger is the same Kahr trigger. It's that single piece steel trigger, and it's got the same long trigger pull that just kind of snaps right there. It's almost a surprise when the trigger goes off on a car, which is good for anticipation purposes. Now, it is long. It's the only safety on the gun, so it's a long trigger. And let me show you the reset. It resets way out there. So if you're looking to ride a reset, it's not happening on this gun. It's that's the safety on the gun. It also has no magazine disconnect safety. This is a single stack steel magazine. It's flush fit. It fits flush to the gun. It's honestly not my favorite magazine. The bottom of the magazine feels a little, let's say, flimsy. And the one magazine that comes with this gun, for me at least, was it was a little bit different from this one. We have a video up about the slide not locking back on the last round as it's supposed to. It was functioning a little bit more like any of the other small 380s that are only sort of real guns. But it had a problem with the rounds nosediving when coming up the magazine, which was the same problem that led to the last round hold open issue. But I talked to Kahr, and they sent me out 2 of these new versions of the magazine with a slightly different pin right here and you can check out that video. But since that change, this runs perfectly fine. These magazines will cost you $40 each, and you probably want to pick up 1 or 2 or 3 or however many, as the gun only comes with 1. Other aspects of the gun, well, you'll notice this is the CW380. It's the value version of the earlier P380, and it's basically the same gun. It's almost identical, except for a few little details that cause it to cost less. For one, you have a metal injection molded slide stop instead of a machined slide stop on the P380. You have roll marked slide instead of engraved slide, and you have a very roughly machined slide shape. The P380 is a little bit fancier, a little bit more contoured, and that's about it, aside from the only functional difference, which is the polygonal barrel on the P380 and the conventionally rifled barrel here on the Kahr CW380. Otherwise, it looks just like any of the other Kahr pistol line. It's got this two-tone finish. It's got these great sights. These are bar dot sights, and they're excellent for quick acquisition of a target. I really wasn't sure how I was going to take to these, but in my experience, they seem to be even superior to a 3-dot combat sight system. They let me more precisely line up this shot without much vertical wiggle room, as in the 3-dot combat sights. And if you know anything about pocket 380s, you'll know that many of them have the old trench sights in the back, a lot like a Smith & Wesson J-frame or pocket revolver, and it's rare to get such good sights. They are polymer sights, but they are real sights, and that's a rarity in a 380, and we really appreciate that, especially when it comes to actually trying to hit your target. Let's take this thing down now. It's a little difficult. It might be impossible on camera. I'm just going to try to show you here. To take it down, you have these 2 little notches that need to be lined up, and I guess I could do it from behind here. And then you pop and then I'm going to leave frame here a little bit just because of okay. So you get your slide stop out, and then you just pull the trigger while the slide is pushed forward. And you've got your frame. Super simple in there. It's it looks a lot like, well, it doesn't look much like anything else. The simplicity reminds me of a Glock, but it has its own unique way of releasing its striker, which is a little bit more than we need to go into for this review. But suffice it to say, it's simple, it's the same in every car, and it works. And you have your slide and barrel assembly here. Now this is a stainless steel 2.58 inch barrel, conventionally rifled. It has Kahr's patented offset feed ramp, which allows the gun to have a lower bore axis by getting the trigger transfer bar up next to this feed ramp and letting it just sit right down a little bit lower. And this doesn't affect the feeding. Kahr recommends a 200 round break-in period, and well, that's on all their guns. And in my experience, I had only one failure to eject in that time, and that's it. And you have this interesting 2-spring recoil spring assembly, which is kind of annoying, honestly. You have to fit the one spring inside the other and make sure the open ends are kind of lined up, because they're opposite coils. So you make sure the two of them are lined up so that when you put the gun back together, you don't run into any issues there. And that's a steel guide rod for all of you who are wondering. One other thing I find interesting about the Kahr is that it's got these two steel tabs on the back of the rails. It's got very long polymer rails. But then something that's unusual that you don't see very often is it has steel inserts inside of the front of the frame that the slide also rides on, which you can see a notch right there on the front of the slide. So it gives it some extra stability, and I would presume that that aids in its almost eerie, strange shootability for a Pocket 380. It's very easy to shoot, which is abnormal and laudable. It's a great shooting gun. It feels, like I said, like a full size, like a big gun. It's got that full caliber feel to it. Let's go ahead and put this thing back together, and I'll just talk to you about it while we go. So I've already told you that this is the 380 that I would choose, and that I did choose for myself if I had to pick one out of any on the market, because it works just like any other full-size weapon without any of the annoying little idiosyncrasies that you find in most Pocket 380s. It holds open on the last round. It has real sights. It functions like a full-size gun. There's nothing abnormal about it. It's just a perfect little carry weapon, and it's so tiny, and it makes me carry in situations that I wouldn't carry in otherwise. I love this pistol. It's one of my favorites that I have now, and Kahr sent this out to us for review, and they're not getting it back ever. This is staying with me. I've sent off a check to them, and I've put my money where my mouth is on this one. I love this gun. Like I said, it's been perfectly reliable. These sights have given it a degree of accuracy that is unmatched on other 380s, except maybe the SIG P238, which is the only other gun in the 380 category that I think is on this level, and obviously the P380, but for reasons I'm about to get to, this is the one that I would recommend, and that comes down to the price. It's got a $419 manufacturer suggested retail price, and you can find them for just over $300, and the P380 has a $649 manufacturer suggested retail price, and you find them for around just over $600. The P380 does come with 3 magazines versus 1, so that's an $80 difference there. So if you were to say $380 for this 380 versus around $600 for the other ones, a $200 difference. For what? For some aesthetic differences and a polygonal barrel? I don't know. I think it's the value here, and Kahr calls it their value series, is to get this gun at a $300 price point and then add magazines as you please. I love this 380, and of all of them, this is the one that I recommend. Thumbs up here. This is a Hall of Fame pistol for me. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. This is the Kahr CW380 here on Precision Gun Reviews. I'm Ed. Thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up or subscribe to our videos to see more. And until next time, stay safe.